Good evening, one all. So I hope you are all doing well. So we'll wait another 2 to 3 minutes and we'll start the session because others are also going to join. So in 2 to 3 minutes, we'll start the session. Thank you. So good evening, one and all. Let us do a little recap of yesterday's session. EC2 is a service. EBS is the hard disk mount. EC2 is where you can launch the machine, and EBS is the storage that we get in the form of volumes and snapshots. So yesterday we have seen how to create a Windows instance. So can anybody tell me what is the port of Windows instance, please? What is the security group of Windows instance? Yeah, it is 3389. But can anybody else tell me what is the? Thank you, ma'am. It is RDP. Can anybody give me the full form of RDP, please? Can anybody give me what is the full form of RDP? Remote desktop protocol. So I request everybody, whoever are listening through YouTube, please try to wear headphones for better sound quality. So remote desktop protocol. Thank you, everybody. So can anybody tell me what are the 3 things we need in order to connect from our local physical machine to our virtual cloud machine? What are the 3 things that we need in order to connect with our cloud machine? IP or DNS? Username? Password? Okay. So can anybody tell me what is the format of a key pair when we download it? What is the format of the key pair when we download it? .pem. So can anybody tell me what is the full form of PEM, please? What is the full form of PEM? Privacy, enhance, name. Yes, thank you. So can anybody tell me where do we give these 3 things basically? Like using what software that we are able to connect to our cloud machine? Thank you, Avinash sir. RDC. Can anybody give me the full form of RDC, please? Can anybody give me what is the full form of RDC, please? A remote desktop connection. Thank you. So in order to, because we need a password in order to connect to the machine, but our key pair is in .pem format. So where did we convert our .pem file to password? Where did we convert it? AWS console itself. Thank you, Avinash sir. AWS console itself is proposing is to convert .pem to password. So how many steps are involved? Like how many steps are there in launching in EC2? 7 or 8? Somebody is telling 7, somebody is telling 8. So normally it is 7 official steps and a 8th hidden step, the key pair step. So this is what we have done in yesterday's session. So today we'll do almost the same process, but the AMI that we are going to choose is Linux. So we are going to launch a Linux instance today. After launching Linux instance, we'll connect to this instance, and then we'll go to the second part of our today's session, which is launching multiple instances using single security group and a single key pair. So let us go ahead and connect to our AWS console and see how to launch a Linux instance. Am I audible properly? Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So things that we have to make sure is always enable new EC2 experience, and always our region should be in Mumbai because of latency issues. So currently you can see I don't have any key pairs. I mean, I have a single key pair. I'll delete that also. I'll show you how to delete it. You can just delete it like this. So this is the security group that I have created yesterday. So I'm deleting it today. So as we are going to create a new security group. So currently I don't have any running instances, any key pairs or anything. Only a single default security group is there. So let's go ahead, click on instances running, or you can go to instances here also. So let's go here. Launch instances. So our agenda is to launch a Linux instance today. So we know all the steps already, but only some things are different. And I'll show you the difference between Windows instance and a Linux instance. So can we choose this AMI? Can we do that? It is a free tier eligible one, mostly. And it is Amazon Linux, which is very, very, at good compatibility with dashboard. So you can select any type of architecture. It is just an architecture. So select this thing. The exact one we can't relaunch. We can launch with another instance ID, and a new private IP address will be given. Yes, Avinash sir. A free tier Ubuntu also will be available. We can just search the AMI and we can give it. So basically, whichever are free tier AMIs, we can launch them. So here, what is the second step? What is an instance type basically? What is an instance type basically? It's a combination of CPU and RAM. So we are gonna go with T2.micro because that is a free tier eligible one. So to be a little bit different than yesterday, today I'm going to launch 2 instances. Okay, yesterday we have launched 1. Today I'm going to launch 2 instances. So it is showing what is the difference from yesterday's session to today's session. You can observe here in the 4th step. Yes, yesterday it was 30 GB and today it is proposing only 8 GB to launch this instance. So now tell me, why 30 GB for Windows and why only 8 GB for Linux instance? Open system. Data optimization, SSD on instance. Any other cases? Linux is headless. So there are basically two reasons to it. The first one is Linux OS. Yes, sir. Yes, Avinash sir. Yes, Ashrat sir. So Linux OS is lightweight file. So whenever you download any file, be it 1 GB or 2 GB, is a heavyweight file. Similarly, 1 KB, 2 KB is lightweight file. So why it is lightweight? That is the question. Why it is lightweight? Can anybody tell me why Linux OS is a lightweight file? No GUI. Yes, Patnaik sir. Yes, I've not said it. Okay. So in Linux, we completely work on CLI. So what is CLI? What is CLI? Command line interface. So what is command line? Basically, the place where you type the commands is called as terminal. And the place where you work by typing these commands is called as CLI. Yes. So what Windows has? A Windows system has both GUI plus CLI. That is why it is a heavyweight file. So we can, with GUI, we can create folders on desktop and all. So that is why AWS prescribed 30 GB per Windows instance. Okay. So we know, right? Like MP4s, MKVs, DVD.rep, DVD, AKV. You know, all this is talking about what? 360p, 480p, 1080p, 4K. What is the difference? All are video formats only. MP4, MKV, DVD.rep, DVD, AKV. What is the difference here? All are video formats, but there is a difference here. Resolution. Yes. So resolution is nothing but clarity, pixel clarity. So let's say an MP4 which takes 200 MB, but the same MP4 at 4K can consume 2 GB. So it is something like that. So let's focus on launching the Linux right now. So that is why it is only 8 GB. So let's go ahead. So next, add tags. So I'm gonna add a tag called Linux instance. Next, what is a security group? Basically, I've told you yesterday, what is a security group? Security groups can be called as firewalls. Yeah. Yesterday I have said one specific word to it. Security group is nothing but a port. Yes or no? So which door and ports are nothing but like doors. So which door you should open depends on the particular OS. Yes or no? So yesterday it is RDP 3389. Today it is SSH 22. What is SSH? Sanjit, sir, just search for in search box EC2 and then click on the EC2 name and you can land upon the EC2 dashboard. Okay, thank you. So what is SSH? Can anybody tell me? Secure shell. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Vasanta ma'am. So secure shell and the port range is 22. So let's give me, let me give you. Let me change the name and description of this thing. Okay. And for whom we are giving it? 000, a global IP, which is basically allowing everybody on this planet. So soon after I came to the step 6, AWS itself automatically gave me this 22 port. So how it knows basically, how AWS knows that it should give 22 port, but not RDP port or some other port. So when we choose the AMI in the first step itself, when we choose the OS, we gave Linux, right? So it suggested automatically 22 port based on AMI. Yes, Avinash sir. So let's review and launch it. So it is basically giving all the information that we have given. So launch the system. So we don't have any existing key pairs. So we are going to create a new key pair called Linux. We can give any name we want. So until unless we download the key pair, we can't launch the instance. So download the key pair, launch instances. View instances. So you can you remember that I have launched 2 instances, right? I have given number of instances 2. So that is why 2 is coming. So what is the configuration for these machines right now? So what is the configuration with the same configuration? So 1 CPU, 1 RAM, 8 GB hard disk. Yes or no? So is it being shared or individual? Is the configuration is being shared or individual? Between two instances, is it individual? Thank you, Patnaik sir. So individual. So resources are not at all shared. So it is always individual. So now yesterday we have connected from our Windows machine to Windows EC2, which is basically this is our laptop or desktop. So one is IP or DNS, second name is username, third one is password. So where we have given it in a software called RTC, and we have converted .pem to password in the AWS console itself. So now in today's class, we have to to connect from Windows laptop to Linux EC2. So what are the three things we need to have here in order to connect from Windows to Linux? One is IP or DNS. Second one is username. And the third one is a PPK file. Third one is not the password, but a PPK file today. So what is this PPK file? I'll tell you. So now we have to convert .pem to PPK. So who will convert this PEM to PPK? Using what? Public private key. Yes, sir. So today we have to enter into a software called Putty for connecting two machines. Okay, for connecting from Windows laptop to Linux EC2, we use the software called Putty. So for this Putty, it requires a PPK file. PPK is nothing but Putty private key. So in order to convert from PEM to PPK, we use a software called PuttyGen. So the software we are going to use in order to convert from PEM to PPK is nothing but PuttyGen. So we use PuttyGen to create a PPK file out of PEM key pair in order to connect with the software called Putty. So is it clear, everybody? We are going to download is yes. So I'll show you how to download, where to download it. And because my system already have these softwares, so I'll show you where you can download these two things very in few clicks and where it is very clear. So go to Google, search for Putty download for Windows. So you will get a result page like this. So I request you people to go to this link, chiarkgreenland.org.uk. So click on this link. So you will be redirected to this page. If you want, I can give you this link in the chat box also. So this is the link. So you can go to this link where when you scroll it down, the first software you see is Putty. And whenever we download any software, it gets downloaded in .exe in Windows. So you can download any bit of architecture you want. So out of these three, anything is fine. So this is the first one, Putty. On the PuttyGen, you can scroll it a little bit down and you can find PuttyGen here. You can download any architecture here. Just by clicking here, it will be downloaded into your system. Hardly takes 5 to 10 seconds. So this is the place where you can download both the softwares in order to practice. So now we wanna first convert our key pair. So in order to convert our key pair, we need to search for PuttyGen in my tab, basically. So you can see here, Putty is like this, okay, with two little computers, and PuttyGen is something like this, where it has a little key in the back end, basically telling us it is a key generator. So here, when we go here, do we need to generate a key or do we need to download the key? Do we already have a key or do we need to generate it now? We already have a key because that is the 8th step there, right? So load the key. So let me give all files here. So this is the key pair. This is the key that I have downloaded and kept it in my system, right? So linux.pem. So select this thing, open. So it is telling successfully imported foreign key. So just give yes. And now we need to save a public key or a private key. Can anybody tell me? Private key, because PPK is nothing but Putty private key. So we have to save it, the private key. So it asks, you really want to save this thing? So we say yes. And then just give a name to it. Save it. So let's go ahead and check. So now with this thing, we are done with our Putty generator. Putty generator is like a PD, just a converter from PEM to PPK. So let's close this thing and check. So on downloads, you can see there is linux.ppk. So the ppk file has been downloaded. So now what we have to, what do we need? Now we have to connect to this instance from our local machine. So in order to connect, we need to have three things. So where we can find it, we have to click on this connect or go to actions and connect. Anything it is fine. So connect, and which clients are we? What is the port? SSH, right? Yesterday it is RDP client and today it is SSH client. So let's click on this SSH client. So if you scroll down, this part in the example part, you can see here, right? So everything before @ is your username and everything after @ is your DNS. So DNS. So, and the third thing, PPK, we already have it. We just downloaded it. So let's copy this whole thing from EC2 user till aws.com. Copy it. And now we have to paste it in Putty. So let us open Putty here. So let me open Putty. So this is how the Putty looks like. So we just copied it and we are giving here in the host name, like, or the IP address, we are giving the whole thing that we have copied along username and the DNS. Then go to SSH here. Okay, click on this little plus icon. You'll get all the things like keys, host keys, cipher and all. So we want to give the authentication to it. So click on auth here. So we are going to give the authorization or authentication here. So now it asks for the key file. So what is the key file you will upload here? What is the key file we will upload here? PPK file. So let's browse our PPK file. Select this Linux PPK and open it. So in order to connect to the second machine also, we just need to right click on Putty and open on new session and repeat the whole process. Okay, you can use the same key. So that is not a problem. You can, because we use the same key pair. So, but both the instances, so same key should work. So now open, accept it. So now you have been successfully connected to your Linux instance. So sometimes we might get a doubt like whether we have connected to, because there are two instances, right? And we connected through the first one, yes or no? So, and if you go to the second one, there is a change in IP address here. It is 172.31 only because of my default VPC, but it is 9.7. And when it comes to the first one, it is 8.880. So let's cross check whether we are connected to the first one or the second one. So you can see here the IP address. So we can check the IPv4 addresses, compare it. So this is how we connect to our Linux instance from our physical machine to a local, cloud instance. This is how we connect using Putty and Putty generator to convert the PEM file. So from here on, we can give all the commands and all. So we'll see it in tomorrow's session, how to give commands and all. So today, even though I have launched 2 instances, am I still under free tier or no? Am I still under free tier or no? It is 8 plus 8, 16 GB. So out of 30 GB, I have used only 16 GB, which is still under free tier only. So we don't need to worry for these things. So now I'll give you a little table so that it will be easier for you people to remember whatever we have discussed in today's session. So what is the table is? Let me draw the table. So if I give this key pair format table, you will never be confused. So this is source, this is destination, this is key format. So when we are connecting through Windows to Windows, from local Windows machine to virtual Windows, the format of the key pair is password. And when we connect from local Windows machine to a Linux virtual machine, the format of the key is PPK, Putty private key. And the last combination, if we are connecting from a Linux physical machine to a Linux virtual machine, from Linux to Linux, nothing to change, guys. So it is .pem format only. So we can directly use .pem here. So the only combination which is left out is what? Linux to Windows, right? The only combination which is left out. So irrespective of being what is the source, if the destination is Windows, then the format of the key pair is password. So irrespective of what source it is coming from, if the destination is a Windows instance, then the key pair format should always be password. Any doubt still here? Or is it clear? Everybody understood how to create a Linux instance and how to connect to it, right? How to open the Linux instance. We connected through SSH only right now, Avinash sir. So we connected through SSH only as an administrator only. So this is let me zoom it a little bit. So these are the things that you should remember from today's session. And so SSH is the security group. SSH 22 is a security group. The software we use is Putty. The key generator is Putty Gen. So these are the things that you should keep in mind. So now, as a fact, let us dive into the second part of the today's session, because we just got 45 minutes and I have to leave 5 minutes for your doubts. Let's keep our questions to very end. Okay, I'll give you time. Then we can have a discussion. So what is the second part of today's agenda is creating multiple instances using single security group and keep there. So what I want to do is, I want to launch, we know for a fact, for Windows EC2, the port is RDP 3389. For Linux EC2, port is SSH 22. So now what I want to do, I want to launch Linux EC2, Windows EC2, using a single security group and single key pair. So is it possible or not? Okay. So how it is possible? We know for a fact that Linux security group is SSH 22 and Windows security group is RDP 3389. But now I want to create either both with SSH or both with RDP. So let's go ahead. Just now I have created a Linux instance, right? Let's terminate this instance because I want to be under free tier eligibility only and Windows require 30 GB. So I am terminating because I have already showed you how to launch a Linux instance using SSH. So now what I'll do, I'll try to launch Windows instance also using SSH and let us see whether it works or not. So let us launch instance, remain in old experience. I'm remaining in old experience only for the moment. So I want to launch Windows instance using Linux security group. So select this Windows server. So the instance type, we are sticking up with t2.micro only. Next, the number of instances that we want to create is 1. The storage is 30 GB. It is already proposing it. And I don't need to worry that I am going overboard my 30 GB free tier because I have already terminated my 2 instances because we have already launched a Linux instance using SSH. So add tags. Yes. So let us go back because subject service asking to repeat it again. So the first step is I am going to choose a Windows AMI, but I want to launch it with Linux security group. So I'm searching for Windows, which is a free tier eligible one, and I'm selecting it. So the second step is selecting an instance type. We wanna stay out of the bill. So we always go with free tier eligible one, which is T2.micro, one CPU and one RAM. So next, configure instance, like we are giving number of instances. For the moment, we haven't discussed the topics of networks or subnets, host names and all. So we are just gonna see the first one. So number of instances, I'll give only one because the free tier eligibility is only 30 GB and Windows is gonna require all the 30 GB. Now add tags. I'm giving SSH for Windows. So next is, it is asking for the security group. So what I'll do here, I'll go to existing security group. And this is the existing one I just used to launch the Linux, which is SSH 22. Review and launch. So it is showing us an error. What is it showing? You will not be able to connect to this instance as the AMI requires port 3389 to be open in order to have access. But what I want to do, I want to give SSH only. So instead of AWS warning me that I will not be able to access it, I am going ahead with SSH only. So continue. So I am in the review option. So it is basically giving us all the information. Launch, and I'm using the existing key pair only. I'm not going to create a new key pair. So select this thing. Launch instances. So let me give a filter for instance state. Only running instances I want to display. It is just like keeping filters in any shopping app. Like, you know, we'll keep the pricing filter, the brand filter and all. So like that, we have so many set of filters here. We can use any of the filter. Me, I'm going with the instant state, which is running or terminated or stopped, and I'm going with running. So it is in running position, and let it come to initialize also. So for this, we need three things. One is IP or DNS, the other name is username, and the third one is password, which we are going to convert. Let it initialize, it is not initializing. But let me try to convert my password, decrypt my password. So we have to select the instance, click on connect. And now RDP client. So we already have a public DNS and a username. So we are going to get our password. Okay, it is telling us to wait a minute till it initializes. Obviously, it is AWS only, ma'am, because I mean, you need which kind of storage space is the question here. You need complete object type or you need some block storage also. That is the question. So if you want 100% object storage, AWS is giving wide range of classes in object storage in the form of simple storage service where you can get your storage for way less expensive when compared to other things, you know. So which type of storage you want, that kind of storage, it depends on that particular thing. So if it is object storage, you always have S3 service in AWS where you can get storage classes at very incredibly low prices. So if you want some block storage also, it is always EBS. So you can purchase some more storage or you can pay for the storage that you have used. So okay, now let me go ahead, connect to it, decrypt my password. I'm going to RDP client, get password. So the key pair associated with this instance is Linux. So I'm browsing the key pair. So linux.pem is the key. So I'm giving it. Now we have all the encryption here. So we're just gonna decrypt the password. So now what will happen? We have to give, where do we need to give all these three things? We are going to use remote desktop connection. So show options. I'm going to copy the DNS. Give it here. Copy the username. Give it here. Connect. So what it is telling? So it is showing an error. So what is the error basically here? Why we got the error? Remote access to the server is not enabled. So it is telling access is not given to this particular instance, to this particular server. So as we all know, we have used SSH instead of RDP. So what is happening here? RDC is searching for a port called RDP to open the traffic inside it. But we have given SSH. So how can we correct this situation? We have to go to the security groups, go to your dashboard. So select this thing. So here you have security, networking, storage, status checks, monitoring, and tags. So we will go to security, and in here we'll select the security group that we have given. So one thing you have to remember is by default, all the outbound rules of a security group are in allow position. Okay, so whatever enters it, it can leave the port. But only thing you have to be careful is the inbound rules, because you can define them. It is you who can define it. So let's now go to our inbound rules. Edit inbound rules here. So now we have given SSH port because we have used the same port for Linux instance and now for the Windows instance. So now in any company, what we'll do, we'll just go to add rule. search for RDP, which is automatically 3389. And to whom we have to give it? Everybody in the world, which is nothing but anywhere IPv4. So now we will save the rules. So as of now, we have the RDP port and SSH port. So normally our instance should respond to this particular port, which we have just updated it. So let's now go ahead and again try whether we will be able to connect to our instance or no. So select the instance, connect, RDP client, scroll it down. You see, I have told you yesterday, we have to decrypt the password again and again because the keys keep changing. So get password, browse the key. This is the key we have used. So open it, decrypt the password again. So now we have public DNS, username, and password. So let us open our RDC. So it is the same thing we have given. So now just connect it. So what happened here? What before did it ask for the password? Before, did it ask for the password? No, right? Because it is searching for the port called RDP. Now that we have given an extra rule that allow not only SSH but also RDP, now we are able to get to our third part where we can give password. So let me copy paste my password here. Okay. So it is asking, do you trust this machine? Yes. So here we can see we have been successfully connected to our instance. So we can see 30 GB here. And also we can see all the details like what is the instance ID, what is the public IPv4, private IPv4, instance size, availability zone, everything we can see here. So why I have used the old security group is because in companies, generally, when 500 machines or 1000 machines are running at the same time, do you think we will use 500 security groups and 500 key pairs? Or is it easy to maintain 100 security groups and 100 key pairs? Imagine there are some 10 production instances, 20 developing instances, 100, 100 on case 2. Definitely. Thank you, Raju sir. So because instead of maintaining 100 security groups, any team, any project, we'll use less number of security groups and less key pairs. By adding rules to it, we can add n number of rules to a security group. So for example, a development team is going to launch 100 machines, they can use a single security group for all the 100 machines, but it can be either Windows, Linux, Ubuntu, whatever operating system it can be, by giving add rules in the security group and giving n number of ports. So to make it less clumsy, as much very little as possible, that is the thing we can do. So while we are working in a company, we always make sure that, for example, we'll have some, we'll give testing security group, development security group, like that, some 100 or 10 to 50 maximum. And in that, we'll have, when we select this thing, we'll have all kinds of ports which are there inside that particular security group, and whether it satisfies our requirement or not. Like this, we can state so many other types also. So this is how we make sure to use a single security group and a single key pair in order to launch multiple instances. So today I want to show you something else also, guys. So I want to show you how the billing dashboard works, because I want you to terminate everything that you have created within next, once you have created and practiced, please terminate everything. And I'll show you how the billing dashboard works. So whenever you have a doubt like how much bill is coming and for what purpose I'm getting a bill, if you want to check it, you can simply go to your billing dashboard, which is here right away. You can see here the billing dashboard. So click on this billing dashboard and you will be redirected to another page. Let it come online. It is taking a bit time. So in this billing dashboard, we can go to bills here. So my August bill is almost 1.1 euros or $1.19. So why I have this 1.19 also, it can be clearly seen here. So if you can click on this thing, you see $0.5. So click on this and you can click on this global also. So it will tell you for what we are exactly paying it. So I'm paying 0.5 pennies for a hosted zone, because I have one hosted zone in my account. And in Elastic Cloud, Compute Cloud, where we are working right now, it is showing me some $0.41. So why 0.41? We can simply go here. This 12 GB. Ma'am, what you're talking, I don't understand. So what is the 12 GB of out of 30? Inside the session you are telling, I mean inside the RDC, the virtual machine you are telling me? Okay. So here you can see I have a NAT gateway, which is, per hour, it is 0.056. And I have used it for 7 hours for now. And I have, for that, I need to pay this much bill. And I have data processing through NAT gateway, which I was paying, this much bill. So for example, you can go to previous month's bills also. You can just check. So unnecessarily, AWS will never ask you to pay any money. Sometimes if you think that there is no mistake from your end, you can just mail them. You will always receive mails from your AWS account like you have utilized 85% of your free time for this month, like that. So when you receive that mail, you can contact support if you haven't done anything wrong from your part, and they will definitely respond within few minutes or hours. Actually, they'll either call you back or give you a mail. So for here, for Amazon Web Services, here I have paid this much. So why I have paid also, there will be an exact answer. See, I have paid 5 point this much. So this is, so everything will have why I have used it and all. So do not worry about paying bill. Why I'm stressing this thing this much time? Because to few days back, I visited some colleges. Okay, so let me go ahead and search for. So there is, yeah, this Amrita Varda. She's from which college I forgot already. So she's from NSRIT, I guess, Vizag. So she sent me a message stating that she received a mail like this from AWS. So an invoice ending this much, and she has to pay 3,183 rupees. So why it asked now also I will show you, because I have asked her to show the billing dashboard. So she's thinking she doesn't have any bill because she sent me this picture, which is in August actually, and it is showing all zeros. So she's telling me, ma'am, it is all zeros, and AWS account is actually asking me to send them money. So what happened is I asked her to change it to July because that is the time when I have visited that particular college, and you can see she got $34.03 bill for the month of July. So why she got that much bill, I'll show it to you people. Because she, for the Elastic Cloud Compute, she kept some of the instances running for the whole month. Because I visited their college in the start of the month, so she messaged me in August first week, because at the end of every month you will get a bill and you will get a mail from AWS account like, you have used this much out of retire. So this is your bill and all. So she kept those machines to run for a whole month, and not one machine, or she kept 3 machines running at the same time. And I have told you 720 hours per month is the maximum limit you can get. So please try to avoid such kind of situations. And there is this girl also, she got 1,500 bill because for the month of July 1st to July 31st, because she kept on the machines running and went overboard the 30 GB. So this is the thing I wanted to tell you, to stress it out a little bit and tell you in very, very clear mode. So always terminate everything that you have created, because the only thing that we want to keep aside is the bill thing, because we are using a free tier account and I don't want this thing to happen to everybody. Me, because I'm using all the services, I will get the bill, but for you to practice, you don't need to pay the bill. So did everybody understand how to launch multiple instances using a single security group by editing inbound rules? Yes. Yes. So let me just give you the outer board of what we have done today. Just a recap session. Let me give you step by step here. So one is AMI, choosing AMI, and I have chose Amazon Linux. Then the instance type, T2.micro, number of instances, I've given 2. Root, it have asked 8 GB. So total for 2, it is 16 GB. Still under 30 GB only. Tags, I have given Linux instance. Then the security group we have used for Linux is SSH 22. Secure shell. 7-step is a review. The hidden 8-step is keypad. Should always download it. In .NET format, later converted into PPK using Putty gem. So in the next class, we are going to see how to create a web server and some of Linux commands, which are very simple and easy to understand. Don't need to worry if you don't know any, have any coding background or scripting background, it doesn't matter. They're very, very easy commands, and I'll let you understand it in a very, very simpler way. So moving further, we can play with the options like this, how we played with security group today. So that is what it happens. And for all the flavors of Linux, all the OSs which are flavors of Linux, SSH 22 can work properly. So that port can work very fine with all the flavors. So yesterday, Sanjit sir, as a part of company's policy, I will not be able to share any PPTs. So if you want, you can just take a screenshot out of this thing or something like that. I'm not allowed to give any transcript, so that is the reason. So that is the thing. And everybody, please do not forget to fill in the feedback forms. Yesterday, my team has gone through all the feedback forms that you have sent. And given the issues, many people told that I'm writing it too fast because I'm writing on my screen. Actually, there is no notepad. So that is why my writing was so gibberish yesterday, and I'm so sorry for that. So today I managed to write it as much neatly as possible. So, and for the audio problem, they told me to inform you people to always use headphones. So that is one of the other things that you people asked. So I hope I'm not too much fast also while showing you options and while speaking, because for somebody it is a little bit difficult. So I tried to manage to speak very, very slower today. So that is for today's session. Please do fill the feedback form, and that is for today. If you have, it is your time. You can ask me questions, or you can leave the session also. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Feedback form link, just a minute. I will give it to you people. I'll ask the admin team to post it. So please do practice whatever I have shown you, and please terminate everything when you are done with practicing. Thank you, Anil sir, for the link. So while looking at the screen, it will be like very easy. I mean, it is easier, but while doing it, some people will have difficulty. So please, everybody, do practice what I have shown. Just give me a minute. I will talk to admin team for the with that link once again. Yes, yes, Rashmi Tulwanda ma'am. So I'll show you how to create your account by paying 2 rupees and where you can use it for 12 months. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Instances running 0, that should be fine because normally, let me share my screen back once. So what happens is even if I terminate this instance, you can see it here. When I terminate this instance, so when we go to dashboard, normally the instances running will be 0, but here in the instances part, you can still see 3 and do not get worried about this thing because it is just showing how many instances that I have created in this past 1 hour, which can be either terminated, stopped, paused, rebooted, hibernated, running everything together. So after some time, it will disappear. So don't get worried about this instances number, but just be worried about instances running number. And if you want, you can delete the key pairs and all. This volume also, it will be deleted along with the instance. It will just take a little bit time. So don't worry for that also. You can see the volume part has gone to 0 now. So let me show how Madam asked how to create an AWS account for free. So I can show it to you in YouTube directly because so many people have shown it in a very, very clear method. So this is the thing which is very interesting and neat and clear also. So let it load. So the 2 prerequisites that we need to have in order to create an account is a mail ID and credit card or a debit card which belongs to either Visa or a MasterCard. So this is what you require. So in Google, you can search for AWS console login and you'll get results like this. Go to AWS management console. So here you will get an this thing like create a free account, or if you already have an account, you can sign in here. So this is the first step where you will get this page. You have to enter your email address. I request you people to give your personal email addresses instead of colleges or something like org.co or something like that, something critical. So they tend to have a little bit problem with such kind of mails. So always go for as simple as @gmail.com. And then give a password, choose a password for yourself, confirm the password, give an account name. So I have seen so many people who gave account names like a Gmail one. You can give as simple as mine is like Surbi. You can give either your first name, middle name, or the last name, and then it will ask for your captcha also. So you can just give all the details in. So here you will be asked for a captcha check. So enter whatever you get the security check here because they just want to know whether we are robots or not. So just give whatever they are given us. And the second step you will get is this one. So we are not a business people. So give the personal account. Yes, Hemalata ma'am. So automatically it will deduct from your credit card until unless you have a problem with your credit card, it will deduct money from that card only, be it a debit card or credit card. So whenever you get a bill, it will obviously from the card only until unless you have a problem with your card, you will, the money will be deducted from your account automatically. So here in the contact information, we plan to use it for the personal purpose for our own projects. So select personal here and you can give your full name. And by default, everything will be in +1 United States because originally AWS was developed there only. So we have to change it to our country, to our country code like +91 and all. So try to give all the information it is asking. So personal, full account, the country and the full address and acknowledge to their customer agreement. And then you will land upon a page called billing where you have to give your credit card or debit card information. So give all the details. It will ask for a PAN. If you want, you can give the PAN. Otherwise, you can select no also. Then you will land into into the OTP page, basically, where it will deduct 2 rupees from your account through the OTP process. So you'll be redirected to the OTP page like Amazon Pay or something like that. So you can give it and then you'll get a, so you'll get to confirm your identity through either a text message or voice call. Please change the country to India, give your phone number, give the CAPTCHA, then you will receive a code either through text or through a voice call. Please, on the last step, just verify your code that you have received and then you will land upon this page, which is a basic support free one, the free tier one, or a developer support one or a business support one. We are neither of these two things. So please do select the basic free support free tier eligible account. So, and with this, when you select this thing and you confirm it, you'll get a page like this, a congratulations message. And also you will receive an email that whether your registration has been completed or not, because sometimes when it doesn't accept your card, if your card is not having international transactions, it will not accept it. So we have to keep your ATM cards open, and then you can come back here and log back to your account as a root user because you are the ultimate administrator for your account. And then you will land into the management console like this. So this is how you can create your account, and this is how you can stay out of your bill. So I guess the call will automatically, the Zoom session will end within a minute. So I really thank you all people for your patience and your understanding for today's session, and hoping to meet you all tomorrow evening for an interesting session, which is creating web servers both automatically and manually by using some Linux commands. So meet you all tomorrow evening, and thanks for the wonderful session. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody. Feedback link, Aarti ma'am, you can find it in the chat box immediately. So many times, even BRAINOVISION and everybody send it here. So you can find it here in the chat box. So thank you so much, everybody. Meet you all tomorrow evening. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.